Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Deeks and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Heart of the Storm broadcast. This is going to be game number 3 in a best of 5, I think it is, series between Team Liquid's TaeJa, spawning as the red Terran in the bottom left of Newkirk Precinct, versus the blue Protoss player, blue Protoss player in the lower right. It is going to be Azubu's San, spawning as the blue Protoss in the lower left of Newkirk Precinct, which I pretty much repeated myself, as I always do. But it is going to be Game 3 in a best of 5 from the finals of Asus ROG Summer Assembly 2013. And I think that is what it is called. And looks like both players just going to open up with a pylon and a supply depot. This is where I just struggle to say anything, because it's just so obvious what's going on. There's not really any action, just both players going to be opening up quite standard. I'm just inclined to increase the game speed because there's nothing for me to really say. Both players going to be opening up quite standard. It looks like TaeJa is going to open up with a barracks, and Azubu-san going to be opening up with a, I think that was a 14 gateway. Normally you get a gateway at 12 or 13, but he got that at 14. Very, very interesting, and not going for gas. Phone. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, I am back. I think everything is back where it should be. Left off in the Protoss base, restart in the Terran base. And looks like TaeJa is going to go for command center into an oral command. San going for Nexus before Cybernetics Core. Slow down the game just a little bit more. Back to normal speed, but Nexus before Cybernetics Core. Looks like a 1-gate expand. Lots of players do this, but this variation is something that I haven't really seen before. Nexus before Cybernetics Core, not something I've seen all that much of, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. But looks like this Marine gonna scout around for any proxy pylons, but TaeJa's gonna put down his own command center, so Protoss opening up a little bit differently than what I've seen. Looks like TaeJa tried to hide that SCV from the Pro by moving it over here. Mind games coming in from TaeJa right here, but he's just gonna put down his command center very, very standardly, and his Protoss just doing a little bit of a different variation on the expansion. Pro going to be chasing this SCV like a cat and mouse chase, but Stalker is also going to be coming out, Factory also coming out as well, and TaeJa putting down his command center. Once again, struggling to find something to say. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Pro count does seem to be pretty even right now, 20 to 21 in favor of San, and going to be, because Chrono Boost does do that. Not only one mule so far, and this command center will complete. Order command will go down. Warp gate also going down as well. San in the past 2 games. Yes, there's going to be a robotics facility. I was going to say the past 2 games he has gone for this robotics facility. So I was going to say we'll have to see if he does the same thing again. And he actually does robotics facility and forge going down at the same time. I don't remember if he got the forge in the last game, but I know he got the robotics facility in the last game before transitioning into temple attack, just getting those observers out, just to see any widow mines probably. Not getting any immortals, surprisingly, just going for observers, and then high tempo attack, and then Colossus Tech. Just skipping the Colossus Tech for a little bit until he's probably around 3 bases, and getting the high tempo attack first. Lots of players seem to prefer the high tempo attack before the Colossus Tech. TaeJa going for double Tech Lab, very, very interesting. Not sure what he's quite gonna do. Switching. Oh no, he's gonna move them over, getting double Tech Lab on his barracks. Not quite sure what he plans to do with this observer. I think we'll see it. And one engineering bay gonna be coming down. Is TaeJa gonna get stim pack and combat shield at the same time? If he does, then I can't really say anything too much of it. But looks like it will be. Is he gonna research anything? Does get stim pack. Is he gonna get combat shield? What's he gonna get from these 2 reactor barracks? Could be. I could just be making a big deal out of it. Oh, there is gonna be a drop over here. Not sure if I missed that. I was focused too much. Just gonna move back just a little bit to see that drop. Here it comes. Looks like I was too focused on those barracks to see what was going on. All right, here we go. Here is the medevac gonna boost in. And it is going to start dropping. There are 2 Widow Mines and 4 Marines in there. Widow Mines dropping in the... Not first. Marines dropping first. Widow Mine does hit the Marine. might have been a probe right there, getting a little bit of friendly splash damage. TaeJa just going to lift up and get out of there. Medevac, a little bit damaged, but should be able to get away. And okay, and there's the Tech Lab swap route thing that I was so mystified about. But this Medevac is going to start moving across, and if I remember right, it is going to move into here. And yes, it does move into there. All the units in there are still available. The Widow Mines are still there, and there are still 4 Marines. And TaeJa is going to get a full scout on the Twilight Council, and stuff going to boost in. But there's a there is a photon overcharge and a photon cannon that I don't think TaeJa is going to really do anything about it. And there is Zealot charge going to be coming in as well. Probe moving across the map, but it will run into this Marine. Sam might have been thinking about putting down a proxy pylon, but that Marine will not allow that missile turret also coming in as well. Probably to prevent Dark Templars from just waltzing in. Probably won't prevent Dark Templar drops, which is always a possibility, but there's no Dark Shrine coming in from San. I don't think we've seen really Dark Templar in any game so far from him. I think he got the Dark Shrine last game, or a few games before, but I don't quite remember. I don't think there was any Dark Shrine. I already forget, but this probe might have been the same one that was shot at by this Marine. May have survived. I already forgot. My short-term memory is not always functioning when I'm casting, since there's so much stuff going on sometimes. But TaeJa getting +1, no +1 armor. There is only 1 engineering bay, but 2 more barracks are going down. Quite a large force over here for LiquidTaeJa. Not doing a whole lot across the map, but the War Prism is going to open 3 Zealots. 3 Zealots could be dropped right into this mineral line, but there are units there, and there's a factory to spot it. And the Cyanide Swarm is starting to be researched. It is being corona boosted, so he does want to get that stuff out ASAP and get those High Templars and Archons rolling, as they are quite good splash damage if you do land those storms. Medevac returning home from doing a few drops, dropping a Widow Mine over here. Might have lost a Marine somewhere. I would need to pay attention to the mini-map more while casting and while playing the actual game itself. So that's moving all the way across the map. Protoss going to be set up over here, but these Medevacs are going to spot it unless it's too slow. No, it's going to be chasing after that one Zealot, I think. And Widow Mine could get some decent hits if there's a probe transfer, but there is no probe transfer quite yet. Going to keep an eye on that Widow Mine. And there's a drop over here preventing that pylon. And Warp Prism is still chilling out over here. And Zealot killing off a few SCVs. Widow Mine just waiting for any probes to come in. No probes quite yet, keeping an eye on the minimap and on that Widow Mine. We did have 1 kill. I think that was from before during the first drop. And those are moving in, but the High Templars are warping in. They're not quite in range of that Widow Mine. It looks like the drops all the way over here have been cleaned up, killing off that cooling tower. Just keeping an eye on that Widow Mine. Don't want to miss any potentially big hits. But San poising in the middle of the map, not quite moving out very far. Zealot is moving in. It is going to get cleaned up by these by the Marine Marauder here, though. Maybe got a few kills. How many workers have been killed? 2 workers have been killed. Oh, Widow Mine just gets 1 kill right there. So not very exciting, but does manage to get 1 worker kill, which is alright, I guess. Viking trying to chase after that Warp Prism. The Warp Prism does move quite fast, 2.95 versus 2.75, 2/10 of a movement speed faster. But I don't know how significant that is. TaeJa looks to be moving across the map, gonna try to put on some pressure, stimming ahead, does not want to get stormed quite yet. Oops, hitting my microphone right there, moving it off kilter, but no storms, haven't really landed on anything. I don't think even not any storms really coming out quite yet at all, and just defensively with a lot of Zealots and a lot of High Templars. Archons are in the back, 1 storm hitting the front half of the army right there, but not doing a whole lot of damage, but just deterring those units. Azubu-san is supply blocked, probably by a destroyed pylon, but scanning that observer, I think he just got lucky trying to scan the army, or just somehow saw that observer there. But here comes an attack right here. Storm hitting a few of those armies right there. Feedback's going in on the Medevacs. 1 or 2 Medevacs getting completely destroyed right there. So nice feedbacks right there. And there is a Warp Prism moving it over here as yet again. Is TaeJa going to go for a Doom Drop? Has to be careful. There are still feedbacks. Oh, 1 Medevac getting sniped right there. It might have been full use. moving right over all those Archons. No feedbacks, but there are feedbacks, and Stark is right there. TaeJa getting stormed. This could be really, really bad for TaeJa, but still a lot of units getting dropped. Trying to go after that Colossus. Colossus may go down, and there are a lot of units in San's base right now. But Photon Overcharge does go down. Zelt's going to try to save it, but Medivacs are going to move away. So not too much damage coming in for San, but that could have been disastrous for TaeJa. Almost losing all of those Medivacs. Full units could have been quite disastrous, but there are a lot of ghosts out to respond to those High Templars. Two Zelts moving across the map. This Marine will see it and get diced up very, very quickly. Gonna try to go for this cooling tower, but TaeJa is gonna respond. Not gonna let that let that happen. And San gonna move across the map with a lot of Zelts. Oh, but wouldn't mind hitting that High Templar right there. So lucky shot from that Woodman right there. High Templar getting one-shotted, and it did have storms too. So that was quite an important High Templar getting killed. And Marine trying to still up killing that pylon, but probably not gonna be able to as the army comes in. And now seems like both players are starting to stabilize a little bit. TaeJa gonna move across the map yet again. Now he does have ghosts and a few Vikings to deal with those High Templars, but High Templar could either get stormed or get completely sniped. We'll get sniped right here, not even gonna get a storm off. Storming 3 units, not always the best use of a storm right there. But he could get stormed yet again. There's a large force coming over here from San, and TaeJa is quite in a choke. EMP hitting one of those Templar, very, very nice play. More EMPs could also go down. There are still 2 High Templars over here. Zell counterattack over here as well. But here comes LiquidTaeJa, and but he is clumped up. Oh, good storm right there, but TaeJa dodging quite in the nick of time. High Templar getting sniped, but High Templar is coming from the back. That Widowmine is not quite yet ready to fire. Storms also going down, but TaeJa sitting right in the storms is going to get pushed back. A lot of storms getting TaeJa getting quite crushed right there by all the storms, forced to retreat. Zealots looks like are cleaned up. A few Zealots over there cleaned up as well. TaeJa forced to retreat, forced to have those units picked up. So good engagement there by San, getting a really good storms on TaeJa's army. TaeJa in a little bit of trouble right there. His medevac are very low on health, but SCV is transferring over here to the fourth base, excuse me, not the fourth base, the third base. It is the fourth base, but looks like San is going to move yet again with some Zealots. There are Colossus over here, and the scan down for TaeJa does see that the unit, and the San is retreating. Archon's going to try to get a few shots on those Vikings. He's going to still try to get that Archon, but Archon able to get away, and War Prism still sitting over here, and not doing a whole lot quite yet. More Zealots, some more High Templars coming in. I do notice how their cloaks float around all nice and superiorly, like they're king of the world. But War Prism is going to get shot down by these Vikings. Yes, Vikings do shoot it down. Woodmine still over here with 5 kills. Killed a few Zealots probably. Killed a few High Templars as well. Are there any observers with this army? How many observers are on the field? No observers are on the field. So San cannot see this Widowmine. He is getting another boss facility. Is he getting? No, he's not getting any observers, so he can't see this Widowmine. That's being very, very annoying. And High Templars do have to be careful that they don't get hit. And another War Prism also is going to see these. Are going to see these medevacs. San does have stuff to respond to a High Templar with 2 feedbacks, but feedbacks won't be enough to kill off those medevacs. And TaeJa is just going to drop in the third base instead. Are you looking at any probes killed off? How many probes will be killed off? 11 killed probes have been killed so far. As the units come to move in, 12 workers so far have been killed. Zealot counterattack moving over here. This cooling tower is not down though. +3 attack also coming in from San. What are TaeJa's upgrades? 3-2, so pretty good upgrades from TaeJa, and 3-0-2 coming in from San. So very good upgrades coming in from San. So they're getting a little bit sore. A small jar coming in over here, but the arc cannons over there to deal with that. Casting a lot of water. Sun moving across the map. Dark Shrine also coming in as well as Blink Tech. Ghost Clicking as well as Terran Armor level 3 also coming out. And Experience coming out over here. Feedbacks on the Medevacs. Medevacs both of them almost going down. 4 hit points on both of them. And units were trying to snipe those High Templars, but Zealot's coming in as well. And feedbacks won't allow that, and looks like TaeJa is going to intercept them yet again. These Zealots will get intercepted as San moves across the bottom of the map though, and TaeJa is on the top side of the map. TaeJa looks like is trying to move across the map. He does see the army movement with those center towers, and there are more height and more pylons and more prisms over here, and TaeJa is in position to deal with this attack, and Zealot is going to move in, but looks like the cooling towers are in breach. The Marines here are going to try to deal with these Zealots over here, but that one bunker should be enough as an engagement comes over here. TaeJa not in a good position, force fielded, being force fielded, forced retreat right there. Ghosts and Vikings not quite in position to deal with what they need to deal with. Dark Terran also coming in, and this could be quite annoying for TaeJa to deal with Dark Templars, and the Stargate tech also coming in as well. Not sure what the Stargate is for. Fleet Beacon also coming down. Could this be for Tempest or a carrier transition? Not quite sure. Both of them could be very effective. Not so much Tempest, but carriers may be effective. TaeJa looks, he may get sandwiched right here. His army is completely split up, and he is getting completely flanked right here. Trying to regroup his army. No storms quite yet. Storm's not able to land, but TaeJa is poised to strike right here. And I'm not quite sure. Nope, both players going to retreat, but Fleet Beacon, we'll see what this is for. Probably not going to be Mass Phoenixes as a large Zealot counterattack moving in from those pylons over there, and TaeJa forced to deal with this with a lot of Ghosts and Marines. SCV is forced to retreat. Pretty good counterattacks here from San, as now the player really wants to engage, as these games could go either way. Infrastructure is starting to go down. Supply team with end barracks also going down. Both Ghosts pretty good against the Zealots that can't see, and here comes an attack right here. Vikings could start to shoot away at those Colossus. TaeJa wanting to pause, have lag problem, admin here, yada yada yada. But the Zealot attack continues to deal damage, and there could be a Dark Templar warp in. No, just 4 Zealots and 1 Dark Templar moving in. Oh, but that Volt Prism does get sniped before that is possible, but Zealot's still dealing a lot of damage over here. Orbital Command is on fire, and the Sun moving across the map yet again, and TaeJa has to be careful not to get too clumped up, so he doesn't get stormed too much, and they're trying to finally deal with these pylons, but that Dark Templar getting sniped, so this pylon will finally be dealt with. Scans continue to be put down, but TaeJa poised to defend here, but there's also a Zealot counterattack over here, but that is a Planetary Fortress. We'll see if that Planetary Fortress is able to deal with those Zealots. I think it will. Oh, nice one right there, feedbacking the Ghost as well. Looks like this Planetary may fall, I'm not quite sure. TaeJa stimming forward, does have to be careful. There are still storms, I think. Are there any storms left? I don't think there are any storms left. So TaeJa being very aggressive, and finally this Planetary Fortress will deal with all those Zealots. But a very tense game coming in here as TaeJa forced to deal with all these multi-pronged attacks, does not want to get stormed. Tempest also coming out. Tempest trying to deal with those Vikings and Medvacs, but they don't deal extra damage to either of those things, and they're not very good against Vikings, against such a large number of Vikings. I think, although the Vikings, without Vikings though, they can't deal with the Colossus, so maybe these Tempests are probably here to distract or maybe deal with the Vikings, so if the Vikings can't kill off the Colossus. I don't really know quite yet. There's no double Stargate though. Could be a transition into carriers later on, but here comes another attack. Looks like neither player is going to engage quite yet either. This base over here is seen by TaeJa. TaeJa going to try to move in, and San not quite in position to deal with it, but these High Templar are moving in to try to deal with it as well. Mothership Corps trying to save that Dark Templar, maybe make the passage of these Terran units a bit more difficult for them. Dark Templar also going to move in, but there's no scans, no missile turret there anyway to see anything. So that Dark Templar could deal a lot of damage. Nuke also trying to be built right here. Planetary Fortress will deal with that, but more Zealots coming in as well. Woodmine is there. We'll be able to kill 1 Zealot probably, as the scan does wear out, and that Dark Templar is going to try to deal with it. Another engagement coming in over here. That's a lot of Ghosts. Ghosts aren't the greatest. TaeJa, I think, did see those Tempests. Now he definitely does know about them. Getting 2 more starports, getting the nuke, and I think that Dark Templar was dealt with. More Zealots over here. Another Proxy Pylon poised to warp in more Zealots. A lot of stuff going on. Looks like this Dark Templar is poised to try to prevent another expansion from going down. And San just building up Tempest, Colossus, High Templar army. The longer this goes on, I think the longer it favors San as more Protoss tech comes out. TaeJa trying to get 5 Vikings out, but that's a lot of Tempest and a lot of Colossus to deal with, and a lot of High Templar to deal with as well. And so TaeJa, this is getting bleaker and bleaker for him as Marine and Marauder I'm not sure we'll be able to survive any longer with all this tier 3 units coming out, and Storm getting a decent storm right there. Yep, zooming all the way out to see everything that's going on. A lot of stuff going on over here. This is like the just a stalemate right now. Both players just staring each other down, trying to get some good engagements. Zealots over here just not doing anything quite yet. And here comes an engagement right here. Storms not hitting a whole lot. Not hitting a whole lot either. Again, Vikings chasing after the Colossus and the Tempest, but that's a lot of Colossus and Tempest for these Vikings to deal with. Storms going down. Nice storms right there as those Vikings are getting... the Viking count is getting whittled down. 13 Vikings. Are these all the Vikings? That's all the Vikings. That's actually not a lot versus 4 Colossus and 6 High Templars. Does want to be careful, does not want to get stormed in this little choke right here. And it is very difficult for TaeJa to walk into this, as the time warp also is there, as well as the threat of storm. And a lot of Zealots and Dark Templars warping in over here to try to harass this third base. There is only one planetary fortress and one missile turret. TaeJa is going to try to move in against all of these this base. Looks like San is not going to try to save it, as those Vikings continue to harass those Tempest and Colossus. And TaeJa is going to take out this third base. I doubt he can. I doubt San can save this. And looks like TaeJa able to use this planetary to save all of those SCVs. But those Zealots are still in position. There are, 2 reactor starports going down to help produce more Vikings, as more Colossus. And I don't think any more Temps are being built. So no, these Stargates aren't really doing anything anymore. San can't really build it too much more anyway. He is almost maxed. Both TaeJas are also maxed, but this is a scary army from San. There's a lot of Vikings though too from TaeJa. Not quite sure what's going on. No nukes being utilized quite yet. 2 more Tempests also being built, and Viking production can be started very quickly once these 2 reactors finish. Tempest getting a few decent shots off. One Marine doing something, just getting blasted by those Tempests. And Ghost Cloaking could get a lot of EMPs. Not too bad. But Storm does have to be careful. This is just so tense right now, as both players jockeying for good position. Storms on those Vikings, have to be very, very careful. A lot of EMPs going down. A lot of EMPs going down. And this third base may go down. Storm's not quite able to protect it. And looks like San is losing base after base. Is trying to rebuild this base. But TaeJa looking pretty good, as San does not want to engage quite yet. But that's a lot of ghosts that could get taken out with Storms and Colossus. Vikings gonna try to force a fight. TaeJa may try to force a fight right here. That's not a lot of bio to deal with the ground units. That's a lot of Vikings too. Vikings are being taken out quite quickly. 2 Vikings only being built at a time. There goes 6 Vikings being built at a time, but this does not look like a good engagement for TaeJa. There's not a lot of Storms, luckily for him, but that's still a lot of Colossus, as all the Vikings do get taken out, and more Tempest being joining the party. TaeJa just getting completely annihilated right here. As the Colossus Tempest, Colossus dealing out a lot of splash damage, and the Vikings not able to do their part in taking out all the Colossus. I think they may have been distracted by all the Tempests. He's only getting 5 Vikings out at once. That's not a lot of Vikings, but Cloak Ghost able to take out 1 Colossus right there. Very, very interesting. Not every day you see Ghost taking out Colossus, but San now trying to move across the map yet again. He does still have some units over here, but that's not a whole lot. Then all the units coming out in a piecemeal fashion. There are a lot of Ghosts, but Ghosts aren't the best fighting units against Colossus and Stalkers and whatnot. A lot of Tempests moving in, starting to move in, and forcing TaeJa to get a lot of Vikings, but he can't build too many Vikings at once. He does not have the ink, he does not have the money to do so. Neither player really has good income, but TaeJa taking a good fight right here, getting some good EMPs out, but there's still too many Tempests for these Vikings to deal with. Those Colossus, the Colossus are getting taken out either way. Good swings right there, and now it's just naked Tempests, but there's not enough Vikings or Marines to be able to take advantage of that. So Vikings can just get away, and that Viking just getting one-shotted by all those Vikings, by those Tempests, excuse me. And this base getting under fire by those Tempests. So I'm not quite sure who this game favors at this moment in time, but San does have the better income, and does seem to have the better tech to deal with what TaeJa has. Good Colossus and High Templars, but not quite sure. Long game. But I'm not sure what San's gonna remax, and he doesn't have a lot of money. Should get some more Storms and Colossus, but he doesn't have the money to do that. Getting another Colossus. Both players kind of low on money, not quite able to get what they need. They're just gonna continue to mass Marines and Marauders, but that's not really what you need against Storm, Colossus, Tempest. I'm not even sure how he's supposed to deal with this. Besides a lot of Vikings. Maybe Seeker Missiles will be good, but the battle cruisers would be awful since Tempest just destroyed battle cruisers. I think, yeah, 95 damage versus massive units. Battlecruisers are not the right units. I still think Vikings are what TaeJa needs, but if he builds too many Vikings, then he has nothing left to deal with the ground army. As San moves in yet again to try to deal with this third base, still a lot of Vikings from TaeJa, 12 Vikings, still one nuke that TaeJa hasn't used yet. Not sure if he's ever going to use that nuke, given that he's under so much pressure from the Protoss player. Oh god, this is a very long game, as both players are going to try to jostle for position here. Drink lots of water, it's good for you. Drink lots of water, it's good for you, as I just said. Not sure if you could understand the sound from the cup, the reverberation, as both players. I don't even know. I'm just gonna like pan around the screen and just let you commentate in your own head as what is going on right now. As TaeJa is trying to get this expansion established, but not quite sure. Just look at the army tab: 24 Zealots, 6 Tempests, 1 Colossus, 7 High Templar, 1 High Templar. Lonely over here by himself, a little bit dangerous. Could try to go for a storm drop on these SCVs, but there's not a lot of storms anyway. As San continues to build up a lot of AoE, and Marauders trying to snipe those High Templars. High Templars, you have to be careful they do not get sniped, as this expansion is under fire from all these Zealots trying to storm those SCVs. Great move right there as the Dark Templar and Zealots chase them away, as TaeJa is forced to pull back his army. But yeah, that's a lot of Vikings. Oh, storm right there, hitting a lot of the Marines, as San moves up to the north to take out this planetary fortress. TaeJa is going to move up to respond. There is only 1 Colossus, and so that Viking can take care of that Colossus quite quickly. But storms on the Vikings, storms on the Marines. Zealots forced to retreat. He could just take around and turn around and take that fight, I think. Actually, no, that's a lot of bio, and that's a lot of Vikings. But nice, lots of storms right there. Bio and Viking just getting completely annihilated by that storm. Oh, this one here, High Templar. There might have been another High Templar storming as well, but he got taken out. But now TaeJa, 99 supply to 158, but San is still retreating. There are observers here that he could use to take out all those ghosts. Not a lot of AoE, only 2 Colossus. Where's that other Colossus? Colossus joining the party right now. But TaeJa looks to be in a little bit of trouble, losing a lot of Marines and Vikings to those few storms, as harassment continues to occur. Whoopsies mouse. And yeah, Widowmine dealing a lot of damage. One first kill from that Widowmine, killing off that 1 probe. But I'm not sure how much longer TaeJa can survive. He is just getting stormed, does not really have any answer to these Tempests and Colossus. Vikings just get taken out by those storms, and those Tempests are pretty much holding their own quite well. And TaeJa struggling to just stay alive right here, and he is, I think, going to lose this planetary fortress. He is going to move up with his the rest of his ghosts and Vikings and Marines and Marauders trying to deal with this, but is it going to be enough? Storms could be devastating, dealing a little bit of damage to those Vikings. But San is forced to retreat yet again, as those Vikings can get good shots on those Tempests, but Storms are also getting good shots on those Vikings. And actually, Tempest getting taken out quite quickly. There's just Colossus left, but there's so little bio left too that I'm not sure if that's enough. Storm right there hitting a lot of the Marines and Marauders right there, and TaeJa for the GG as he loses that whatchamacallit, orbital command. TaeJa not quite able to deal with the Tempest and Colossus. Quite the long game. Hui, so the series is now tied up 2-1. Can Azubu-san do the reverse all kill thingy, or is TaeJa gonna take it? You guys probably already know, but thanks for watching.